Coming. Where's... There she is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the Common Council to order, and I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Reinke. Here. Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel. Here. Grisham. Here. 10 present.
We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderman Haas. Okay, under Section D this evening, we have no public hearings, so we will go right to citizen participation. This is when the council may receive information from members of the public. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under citizen participation? That would be you, Jerry. As the only citizen in the house. Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation, and we will go right to item F. Our standing committees will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on the bottom of page 1 of your agendas. I do not have a mayor's report this evening. Do we have any alderpersons' reports? Okay.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of September 6, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any amendments, changes, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Standing committee reports. Consent agenda. We have none, so we'll go to item K, the consent agenda.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
if there's no objection from any members of the council, I move for adoption of the committee consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Haas.
Aye.
Keen. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham. Aye. 10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. We are in recess.
Cool.
I have a lot more warnings to give you before you do that. Just a heads up.
Okay, Public Works will come to order. We only have one item tonight. And all 5 members are present, excuse me. Item 13, ordinance 2022-0132, ordinance to adopt parking restrictions on the north side of West Washington Street from South 84th Street to 100 feet west of South 84th Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? We have discussion right here. Alderman Spancy.
Just a quick question. What's this for?
This is for Legacy Cuts on 84th and Washington. There is no parking available
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking
for
about.
his business. And I did have one question. Would this be effective during State Fair as well? Because that seems to be the big issue, especially for businesses, that they don't have, they in essence have to shut down. So you're familiar, Rob, with the block. It's just
Yeah.
his business and a house that's on 85th Street.
Right.
So it would just be that north side.
Do you remember how that's signed right now for State Fair?
I think that whole area gets shut down for parking, with the exception of, I think, special use
Yeah.
or special permits for
Isn't that no
residents.
parking at all on, I think, at all during State Fair?
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
yeah. It goes to no parking at all in those areas, and that's what really is problematic for him as well. I think we need to review and kind of look at this parking for our businesses, especially during the fair.
Yeah.
But that would have been my question.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was sailing across the ocean at that very moment.
sounds lovely. No, so typically when the State Fair happens, that is a Public Works and Police decision on what streets to close and not close. So if there are particular streets that you're interested in learning more about, you could reach out to either Public Works or Police to arrange for that and see if there's any alternatives.
Perfect, thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Is there a
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Chair, before you take the vote, just want to make sure from the committee, would you like to continue to hear the parking restriction ordinances here, or is that a consent agenda item that you would prefer for that agenda? Just curious if you want these items to be on the committee agenda in the future.
Oh, usually they go to safety and development. I have no problem bringing them here because it is streets and signs and things like that, so we can keep bringing them here.
Very good.
What do you folks think?
I'm
I have
fine
no
with that.
problem. I mean, as long as the president of the chairman of the Public Works is fine with that. I mean, I don't want to
But I like
give you
it.
any more loads, you know. for
I'm
you
a
to carry,
consensus
you know.
builder, Vince.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll keep them here, Cal.
Very good.
Okay, do we, oh no, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
now we move forward with License and Health Committee members. Everybody's present. So we move on with item 16, 2022 dash 0899, 2022-02024, renewal operator license, bartender class D operator, application for Samantha Lipan. Bar 10316 is Liban, she's here?
Liban, yeah.
Liban, yeah.
Okay.
Based on your applications and your records, what do you have outstanding right now?
I don't, right now, I am finishing out my sensei, or I'm still on probation for my OWI. So it gets done in November. I've complied with everything that they need me to do. Like I had the 90-day blow box. I have like the blow box in my car, and I'm still maintaining, like, obviously seeing a probation officer and when he needs to see me. But I have like 2 months left.
But you didn't successfully complete your classes, right?
Yeah, no, I did that. I'm
You
sorry.
did?
Yes, I did that.
Those?
Yes. You talk about impact, right? Impact, but for like to get your license back.
So
'Cause
what's the, go ahead.
Sorry, so like they have like there's so much things you have to do to get through it. So it's like impacts. You have to go meet with a counselor and just discuss and all that stuff. Yes, I did that. So I do have a like occupational license right now. So I don't know if that was what kind of triggered with me to come in to see you guys. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So I just have I have completed that and I have my occupational license. So
But your OWI seem like it's not just one time that occurred, right?
No,
Or
it's not.
how many times?
It is my third. So, my last one before this was over 10 years ago, and the one before that was also 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
That's the last one, right?
Yeah,
The last one.
yeah.
Any questions from the committee members?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
on our record, it indicated that probation should end around November.
No, November
You're
of this year.
indicating that you already completed your probation
No, I'm still on probation till the end of this year, November.
this November?
Yes, so I'm still on it right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we normally grant licenses to people that are under probation?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if
Kayla?
completion of probation is one of the factors for rehabilitation.
Right.
And so it is up to the committee to decide if you believe that the applicant is able to do the job now, or if you believe that the applicant should complete probation before she has been rehabilitated.
I see.
So I did bring, my CCAP, cause normally I've been told this is a really odd case, not odd case, but normally if you're on probation, they don't allow you to work in the service industry. So the judge did, right, and there that I was allowed to still maintain work employment in the service industry. So I did bring that if you guys need to see that.
Mr. Chairman,
But there's a but. Go ahead.
I would vote for denial based on 3 OWIs. That's my motion.
Any second on the motion?
Second.
So we have an emotion on the floor and a second. All in favor of denial?
You want discussion, Tracy?
You want discussion?
No, I just was finishing reading what
Yeah,
was.
I'm sorry, okay.
No,
I did actually have a question,
Go ahead.
although I seconded it.
Alderman Christian.
Samantha, what would have been different this time around as far as what your rehabilitation? I mean, obviously, we have concerns, and the motion's already been made, but that was gonna be my question.
Sure.
What would be different, having your third OWI? I know you're under restrictions, court-ordered, but going back into the industry and having alcohol present and making good judgments is the biggest thing that we need to
Absolutely.
take into consideration.
Sure. So, my place of employment is completely different. It's no longer at the place that I was when I had that. And my boss is very strict on no drinking. Like he knows my situation. I'm very open and honest with him. And he's been very, supportive on my rehabilitation. So that definitely helps a lot, having somebody that your boss have your back in that situation. So that's definitely what helped a lot. And then just my living situation has also changed, just a lot of different things, just this situation is unfortunate. Obviously, I had to deal with it, and I grew up because of it, because, it had to happen, and I'm not saying I'm glad I did, but, I definitely learned from my decisions I made.
Okay, and where would you be working?
So, DeBar.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, I do agree with Oliver Road and with the second, the person Christian, based on the outstanding issue here that once your probation expires, perhaps you can come forward,
Okay.
and then maybe perhaps we can take, after 6 months, we can take some considerations, okay?
Okay.
So on the motion of denial, oppose?
You mean
I
all
mean,
in favor of
in
denial?
favor of the denial.
Aye.
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 Opposed, the aye have it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we move on with item 17, 2022-0900, 2022-2024, new operator license, bartender class D operator application for Amber Electric.
With caveats.
Come forward, Amber. So Amber, tell us about some of your back history, some of the records or
So, yeah, I have an OWI from I believe it's around 4 or 5 years ago, if not longer. It was a one-time thing. I was living in, basically in Palmyra, so it was a very, difficult, it was difficult for me to get to and from work. So I do also have two instances where I was pulled over for driving revocated. But I have not driven since. I have been honestly trying to get my classes done with, and that's why I'm applying for this actually. So I'm trying to push forward and learn.
But the fact is, for, a good citizen, I know many people, let's see, sometimes people think that's something I could just do and get away, driving without a valid license, they think that's okay, I could do that.
It's
But I know there's
definitely-
consequences on something like that. I can't say doesn't really interfere with your liquor license, but at the same time, we have to kind of look at your background, your, the way things have been happening, in your life,
Correct.
So, any questions from committee members?
You said classes? You're taking-
So I have an OWI, so all they wanted me to do, and the court decided that, all I had to do was my, assessment, the classes to, get my license, the drinking and driving classes, and then, I would be eligible to get my occupational license. This is all things I'm trying to work on, but it's very expensive, and I waitress. So I've been in customer service for 10 years now, and I know I can do this. And I feel in order to better myself, I need to.
So when you get to work now, how do you get there?
I bus.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Christian?
where will you be working?
Applebee's.
Applebee's, okay.
Iowa 100. I've been with the company on and off for 6 years too.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair,
Yes, along the road.
so I'm reading this right. There's two operating while revoked, correct?
Yes.
And how did you get here tonight?
Tonight I got a ride from a friend,
Okay.
and then I plan on busing after this to work.
So any
Mr.
questions?
Chair,
Yes.
so currently you have a revoked license, is that it?
For driving, yes, currently.
Right, and your rehabilitation basically is being taken care of with classes?
If I pay the fees to get into the classes, I can definitely rehabilitate and get my occupational again, and then be legal to get a license. But the classes are $300 from what I know. The assessments around that too. Then we're talking the SR22 insurance, that's pricey, and I make about $100 to $200 a night. And even with saving, expenses get expensive, and I'm really trying.
When
But-
will your license be reinstated?
As soon as I pay for the classes and start taking the classes,
I see.
I need to.
And when do you anticipate that to be?
if I can start bartending within the next month or two, if I can try. It's just that I'm not making enough money waitressing.
I see. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Good luck.
Good luck, Kendall.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, we move on to item 18, 2022-0902, 2022-2024, new operator license, bartender class D operator application for Isabel Risson, bartender 322. Isabel, she's here.
This is the second appearance.
Motion to deny
Second.
Okay, this is it. All in favor of the motion of denial?
based
Aye.
on non-appearance
Non-appearance on record.
and record. Thank you.
Before you read that whole thing, do you want to see who this person is that's sitting here?
She didn't even,
Yeah, she,
Yeah.
no, because I feel like she was not here.
No, I'm saying, do we want to see who these people are instead of reading the whole thing out and see it, and then,
No, that's fine.
The ones
I
that
mean,
don't
we can
show up
just
are-
read it.
okay.
Well, it should be smooth as butter if they're not here.
To stay all night with you
I
guys.
mean,
okay.
You wait your turn.
Who is the applicant? Who is the applicant?
DeAndre Allen.
Oh, so it's the second one that we got coming up now after this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
All right,
fine.
cool.
That's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we move
Sorry.
on to item 19. 2022-0913, 2022-2024 new operators license bartender class D operator application for Real Light Piojida Garcia, She's here.
This is a second notice.
Motion to deny.
Second.
All in favor of the motion of denial?
Aye.
Based on record,
Opposed,
not-
the ayes have it. So we move on to item 20, 2022-0940, 2022-2024 operator license bartender, the operator for application for DeAndre Allen, bartender 344. She's not here either.
No, this is him.
DeAndre, I'm sorry about that.
This is him. He's
Sorry
here.
about that.
He's here.
I mean, that's fine.
It's been a long day, right?
So, you know why you're here, because we get a
Yes.
bartender license, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your, any previous records of driving or anything else?
And I have a third-degree sexual assault from when I was 18. That was in 2010.
Yes.
I'm about to turn 31 now. You know, I did what I did. I accepted what I did, and I moved on from it. I became a better person. I've been in the bar industry for 8 years now, and I've been doing wonderful at it. And I work at Route 100 right now. I work at JD's Pub and Grill. This is my manager. I take heart into what I do, and everybody loves what I do. But I'm tired of depending on other people to be there so I can work. As you get what I'm saying, because it has to be a licensed bartender in the bar
Yes.
for me to bartend. And like I said, I'm just ready to move forward and get my license so I don't have to depend on anybody else. Yes, I have a past, and I moved past it. I have a 3-year-old daughter now. I take care of her. I have her 5 days a week. I just trying to get the money I need to take care of me and her and move on with life. That's all I can do.
I mean, it's not personal, but in a way it is. Do you have another job, a full-time, or
I work bars full time, and I gotta leave as soon as I leave here, actually.
any questions from the committee members?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Allen, you said that you have a previous sexual assault in 2010. Do you have one or two?
It's two
There's
cases.
two. Is
They were all together. It was a 3rd degree and 4th degree.
Okay.
Any further questions for Mr. DeAndre?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
according to the record that we have on you, you seem to be, in 19 and 20, you seem to have habitual operating while suspended.
That was
We have 2 down for you.
that was a while ago, but yeah, but like I think it was. I don't know how long ago it was, to be honest. I don't really keep
Okay.
up with it.
I was just wondering the
Yeah.
circumstances.
But it wasn't no drinking, no DUIs, nothing like that. It was just tickets that I didn't pay, and then I caught up on it, paid it, and got my license back. It was no drinking, no DUI, anything like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Mr. Chair, I,
Yes,
The
all
assault,
the
the
precipitation.
assault, the sex assault.
I'm so sorry. I thought you
Oh,
were
that's
done.
all right.
Go ahead.
Sex assault is concerning to me.
I understand.
You say you have a 3-year-old daughter. You're married?
No, I'm not married.
Okay,
Oh,
you
I'm
have a
single.
3-year-old daughter that you are caring for?
Yes, I have my daughter 5 days a week.
Okay.
5 days a week.
What can you say has been your rehabilitation?
My rehabilitation, I did probation. I went to sexual assault treatment. It was downtown Milwaukee. I did that for 3 years. It was a group of people, we talked about our case, and it made it, everybody tried to make it seem like they denied what happened. Oh, I was this age, or the girl lied, or no. I was 18, I got caught having sex in the back of a skating rink. That's what happened, Was it forceful? No. I was 18, and that's what happened, I didn't force myself on her. We got caught by a security guard. That's all it was to it. That's how I
If you
have
get
my
this
felony.
license, where do you plan on working?
JD's Pub and Grill, and this is my manager right here. Like I said, I work at Route 100 as well. They're closing soon, So I want to get my license for her bar because I will be going there full time. I want to get everything I need to make sure I go through smoothly, progress. I just want to become a better person that I know I can be. Like I said, yes, I have a past, but I want to move forward. I'm about to turn 31 years old this year, October 13th.
You currently have a full-time job?
But my full-time job is bars. I work at bars 7 days a week.
I see. You already are working?
Yeah, I work in bars 7 days a week.
I see.
I do security
At
3 days a
JD's?
week. I work at her bar Mondays. I work at the Miramar Theater on Tuesdays, Route 100 Wednesdays. Thursdays, I'm at the Miramar Theater. Friday, I'm at Route 100. Saturday, I'm at Route 100. All my bosses know about my past, and they see the way I am now. They're not judging me for what happened years ago. It's how the person is now. So, yes, I would love to get my license so I can actually move forward. If you guys deny, then I can't say nothing pretty much about it, you know? I just want to move forward.
Yeah, I think Christian had a question too.
Actually, you go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So I commend you for being forward with what happened.
Oh, yeah.
I like to see people take ownership of their what they've done. So I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
We need a second.
If I may, if we can have discussion.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Allen, how would this impact you as far as, now you're just looking to be able to operate behind the bar alone? So right now, you can still bartend under having your manager there or the owner of the property there. So it would have to be a team of two, and this would allow you to have more independence, which, not speaking for your manager, that would help with, the workload, so to speak.
Yeah, and if I do get my license today, she is giving me a promotion of becoming a manager. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm good at my job. I'm good at what I do. Like I said, I have a past, but I move forward from it now. I got a 3-year-old daughter. I would like to take care of her the best I could.
Okay, and I'd like to echo what Alderman Stefanski said. I do believe in, you taking ownership and moving forward, and I'd like to give you that opportunity, so I will second.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You seconded?
I seconded.
So, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Good luck.
Best
Good
of
luck
luck.
to you then.
Thank you
Happy
very
early
much, guys.
birthday.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
So now the rest of them don't look like they're here.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go to work. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Just to help
Yeah,
speed things
we
up, I
need
could
a
just call out
100%.
names.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corey Akarian?
Deny.
Akarian?
He
Motion
has
to
a
deny.
warrant.
Huh?
He has a warrant, so I don't think he would be.
So he's not here.
I was gonna let
He's
himself
got a
show himself
warrant,
first
so-
before.
Yep, motion to deny.
Second.
Second,
So we talk about
21.
Gordy, right?
21.
21.
21, yeah, Gordy.
No.
Corey.
Corey.
Corey, yeah,
Yeah.
Corey.
Yep.
Right.
So a motion for denial, right?
Yep.
Right.
And a second.
All in favor of the
Aye.
motion of denial?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it.
Michael Nichols. Where is
Where is
to
it?
deny.
Behind the doors?
Motion to deny.
This is the first.
This
Oh,
is the first.
Motion to
This
hold.
is who?
Motion to
Michael?
hold, yeah.
Well, we'll give him a
Second.
chance. We'll give him a chance, We're holding it.
Yep.
Yep.
We're holding
Okay.
it.
Next person.
Then
You
we
wanna-
go to 23,
Tasia Nash.
Tasia Nash. She's here?
Tasia
Oh, she's
Nash.
not here. Chief, she's not out
She
there, right?
has a warrant.
Yeah, motion to
Motion
deny.
to deny. Second.
Okay, all in favor of the motion of denial?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it. Then we go to 24, Hallie Weeks.
There's no one outside.
There's no
This
Weeks
is
on
the
here.
rest, the next two are,
Second
first-
appearance.
The first.
First, okay. Motion to hold both
To hold
24 and 25.
Hallie,
Second.
Hallie Weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I just did 24 and 25 together.
Yeah.
You should have
Oh, 24,
done
okay.
that. I'm so sorry.
So you wanna put it to hold on?
Yep. Yep, and a second.
Okay.
I
All in
already
favor of the
seconded.
motions?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it. Then we move on, 26. New Class B Tavern application of 625 Mitch LLC, DBA 63325 Mitch, 6325 West National Agent, Marla or Maria Poitinger. She's here?
So maybe hold this.
Make a motion to hold.
Second.
Second.
Yeah, we can hold it. Okay, all in favor of the motion to hold it?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it.
It's Bob's turn.
27, communication regarding nuisance abatement program action plan progress. We got Bob here. Maybe Bob could answer some of those.
Bob here, are you here? Bob here?
I wanna make sure, Bob.
Hi, Bob
I
here.
wanna make sure, you know?
So, yeah, you should have the communication in front of you, is in the packet. I guess I'll just start by asking if you have any questions, rather than blast through this update.
I have a question, Mr. Chair. If
Yeah,
we're
go ahead.
looking at our rat abatement currently, I've noticed a lot more people have been vocal about saying that they're reporting. How is the progress going with that? And
Yes.
what are we doing on that end?
So we have still the mix of folks who are emailing, calling, going through all their persons to relay messages, and then as well now OpenGov. And so to this point, with regard to any venue of communication, we have tracked 155 rodent-related complaints as of the end of August to this point, so from January to the end of August. That in comparison to 2018, which since the year 2017, 2018 has the highest recorded number, which for that entire year was only 116. So we have, I think, successfully raised awareness, pushing out information, which of course has prompted a lot of interest from a variety of residents. We have a few repeat offenders who are just, I think, struggling with the fact that we will go out and do an investigation, but they will still have rat complaints a week later or 2 weeks later. So when we're running into that situation, what we're continuing to do is provide education and then work with code enforcement as much as we need to issue orders. So to this point, on record, we have issued 125 letters regarding rodent harborage issues. And then Public Works is actually, in the time since January, has as well, in addition to what code enforcement has issued, they've prepared 900 violations with regard to the trash receptacle issues that are going on. So, so to your question, yeah, I mean, we've done, I think, a bang-up job of what we intended to do out of the gate here by raising awareness of the community. We're just a lot more informed in terms of where the rodent activity is, to the point where, as we had discussed as part of the plan, engaged Orkin, and so Orkin has actually placed, to this point, 98 rodent bait stations in those 3 walkthrough areas that we took a tour on. And as of the end of August, the feedback that we've gotten from Orkin to this point is that the area where we're seeing the most amount of traffic and what's driving this determination is essentially just the sheer amount of bait that they have to replace on a regular basis. And so Zone 2, which is the area between 60th and 66th, and then between National and Mineral, is really the zone where we're seeing the most amount of rat activity. Keep in mind, we of course get the occasional reports of dead rats, but just the way this bait works, the rats eat the bait, they go back to their nests, and that's where they presumably die. So we don't have, I would say, a true accounting of just the sheer number of rats that have been killed off, but we can get a sense of just how, I think successful, you know, the baiting is with regard to kind of where we identified the hot spots and then, you know, where we're seeing the bait replacement at this point, so.
Bob, we know, we know that already, that the city already has been investing, like in the First Automatic District, just as well. We've been investing already a lot of money baiting the cage basins, and on and on. But really, what really take many of the homeowners, citizens, really, I blame them, really. They're part of the cause to attract the way they handle the daily life, you know. If somebody goes out and throws breadcrumbs out there, you know, well, you bound to attract rodents. I mean, that's the way it is, and that's what's happened on the East End, really. I mean, many of those people, you know, the neighbors complain about it, but then when they get the letter, say from you or from the building inspection, well, I mean, it seems like they're not really pursuing, you know, they expect the city to clean up the area, you know, which again, it costs the taxpayers money. But if everybody would be a participant, go to Menard or go any place and buy some rodent killers, maybe it won't be the problem. I try to maintain the exterior of that property the way it should be. That's why rodents goes where it's a bunch of garbage. That's what they
Mr.
like
Chair?
to live. And that's the big problem we're facing in our city, you know, I mean, really. I mean, talk about the East End.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I had two questions. Is all the community block grant development funds going to be utilized?
We anticipate it will. It's just a question of timing at this point. So that 16,000 is being deployed to Orkin to support the baiting. That's the agreement with Orkin for that amount, and so it's just gonna be a period of time before they actually draw down on that.
And have we thought about at all partnering for some, you know, a lot of people don't like the rat poison and things like that, so they kind of look for more natural solutions. And Alderwoman Grisham and I have spoke, and a resident very passionate about it has spoke. Have we ever thought about like partnering with maybe Docky, and we grow mint plants? Rats supposedly don't like mint, and we have you know, some type of giveaway for mint. And I'm not saying obviously this year, but just some maybe future ideas for spring, where we can, you know, give mint plants or seeds, and you know, it could be
Collaborations.
twofold with Docky growing them during the school year, and then, you know, we give them out. So I just didn't know if we thought about kind of pushing some of the more natural rat deterrents. You know, they're not gonna kill them if, you know, but they'll have good breath, but, you know, but it might be like a deterrent on it. So I don't know if we could maybe just somewhat promote maybe some of the more natural remedies, since some people are so against poison and those with dogs, and, so just a suggestion that
Yeah, I mean, certainly when we first started to have the conversation, we explored a number of different options to include owls and other more organic approaches, but, you know, we're really kind of looking at right now what the best industry practices, you know, from the pest control companies.
Right.
And,
86
but it's
of them.
not to say that, you know, we're not open to exploring other options, to the point where, you know, there, of course, are new products that are coming out, you know, pretty frequently. So, in fact, you know, we are now exploring a product that is based out of Arizona, where they appear to have had some success. And so that is claimed to have no significant health impact on other mammals other than rats and rodents. Yeah, number one, what you're saying has been discussed. We just have taken the more traditional approach
Process.
based on what we know the best practices. But yeah, we are beginning to at least look into, you know, some other options. And so we do anticipate that with this product coming out of Arizona, we're doing a little bit more background research on that just to get a sense of its real impact, you know, to see what they're claiming is true. And then we might pilot that by a very small supply and give it a go and see what success we have with that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Rosie.
Mr. Chair, yes. Would you say that most of the complaints you get are from the east side, or are they citywide?
It's coming in more and more citywide. Yeah, but it's certainly when we, again, just continue to look at the numbers this year, I would say volume of activity is still on the east side and in certain neighborhoods. But there are other areas that are becoming hotspot areas. And so as we continue to move this program forward, we will look at ways that we can potentially use the CDBG funds that we have currently to touch some of these other areas that are now outside of the hotspot areas.
Have you noticed more complaints now with the construction of the waterworks from Waukesha? I mean,
We
because
haven't
we're disturbing the road and
Not a direct causal.
not necessarily,
relationship, no.
okay? Are we still baiting the sewers?
We don't bait the sewers.
We don't bait the sewers anymore?
No. In
Why
large
was
part
that
because-
stopped?
Well, we're baiting essentially in alleyways in these hotspot areas where we know that there is actual traffic. So, and this is based on, again, the reports that we've been getting. So rather than go below ground, we're opting to be above ground at this time. And, again, what we're kind of basing that on is, I think historically, the city did do some sewer abatement with not a whole lot of success. And so we're kind of looking at that as a lesson learned, and we're going to take a more practical approach and put the bait stations where we actually know that the rat traffic
And it was a
is.
costly
Yeah.
situation as well, I would say.
Yes, Alderperson Christian.
Bob, I want to thank you and your team for moving forward with this initiative. I know this is just the start. We have a long way to go. And the education point is getting driven home. What I see on a level as far as an alderperson is the calls that I'm getting is, my yard is good, my neighbor's yard is a mess. We work with code enforcement. It is such a lengthy process to get from point A to point B. By the time code enforcement gets those letters out, turns around, it's like they're babysitting grass all summer. And I find it personally very ineffective. What I'd like to see in this initiative moving forward is we find a better way to deal with these code violations. And I also think that these letters are just letters. They're as good as the words I'm saying right now, and it's not really driving home the message. So what I'd like to see is that citations are actually given to these violators, the repeat violators. I understand that we can say, yes, everybody can go to Home Depot and pick up rat poison. This is a much larger problem. We can't bait sewers and expect rats to eat bait out of a sewer because A, they use it as a freeway system just to get to where they're going. They have literally a smorgasbord of food in our community. And no, it's not an east side problem. I found a dead rat on my property. It's in District 3. It's going to move. Rats go where there's food. And as long as we keep giving them food and harborage, we're gonna have this problem. So I'd like to see that as part of the initiative moving forward. But I commend you on really putting a good foot forward and getting this moving, at least.
Sure,
So,
appreciate that.
thank
Yep.
you.
Any further questions?
Yeah, I agree with Alderwoman Grisham. I don't think we give enough citations out, and people get away with too much stuff when it comes to this. I guess it pays that I have a peregrine falcon in the park right across the street from my house.
Nice, that's helpful.
I've seen a couple of them left in the road that they've disintegrated. So, but yeah. No, I'm done.
Yes,
I was just gonna mention that I believe, I don't know if it was in August or
Would have
July
been August
meeting.
2nd.
August 2nd, the council adopted another tool for the toolbox so that more swift action can take place in places where rat harborages are noticed. So I think that's been we've been working, I don't know that we've utilized that yet, but it is a new tool that we do have.
That was gonna be another one of my questions. How many properties have we acted upon since we put that into effect?
Yeah.
So I can name a couple right quick that would need that.
I know one.
Names and addresses.
Yep.
So we're always open to that. Yeah, all we have captured at this point is just the sheer number of letters that have gone out for the harbor issues. No indication of what has actually been written up as violations at this point.
Okay.
I think we've made a dent, but I don't think, I think there's a lot of people yet that are not listening. They like to see the birds,
Yep.
and the bird feeders continue to be a big cause, I would say, with the seeds dropping down.
Yeah, you know, I think as long as we continue to, you know, essentially allow the feeding of birds, and certainly, you know, just as Chairman Vitale was saying, you know, certainly the opportunity just to continue to provide the food sources, this is gonna
Right.
be an ongoing forever challenge. You know, this is
Exactly.
not the first year. Obviously, you know, the city has seen rats, and, so this is just one attempt at trying to curtail, and as well better educate the community. And, so I think we're, you know, seeing that people obviously are now paying more attention because of just the sheer number of complaints we're getting in, but now it's like, all right, we gotta just use the tools that we have, or otherwise just give some further consideration to other strategies, you know, community-wide strategies.
Well, I think we're making it more of a priority than we ever did because they are moving.
Yeah, certainly,
They
I
are
mean, just
moving
the
west
sheer amount of
very
resources-
quickly.
The sheer amount of resources
And I
that the
commend
city's
all
throwing
the
at this problem
person,
is
Grisham,
pretty
for
indicative.
pursuing this a little harder than
Thank
the
you,
rest
yeah.
of us.
The rat champion here. Mr. Chair.
Yes.
One final note, and I'm sure you're getting reports of it too. I think it would be sensible for us to do some type of campaigning about chickens in the community. And I don't want to dismiss the love people have for chickens, but we've seen them popping up everywhere, all over the city. And I think that could be a situation too that is helping the rats populate by having a source of food. So,
Well, chickens are not allowed. and
chickens
so,
are not allowed.
You know, as long as we are informed or become aware, we'll continue to make our visits, so.
All right, thank you.
we will continue to
Yes.
address that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Chairman Vitale, you first started out saying, and a few of the people were trying to educate. What do you mean by that? Have they been ordered, have any orders been put on these houses where there's rat problems?
No official, well, I shouldn't say that. We have an active case now that has been actually active for a number of years that is currently in the legal system. Repeat offender, and so this particular property has received multiple orders. And we continue to have the ongoing educational discussion with him, but as well, city attorneys have as well as the judge. But this is the kind of, you know, situation we're oftentimes dealing with is there's penalties being issued, but, you know, then really the person and the property owner is just continuing with their behavior. And there's, you know, what more can you do at this point?
So it's waiting for a court date? Maybe this is a Kale question?
Well,
Or maybe you don't know what house he's talking about?
they've been to court.
There's only one.
I think we know the house.
In this case, there's actually been forfeitures of thousands of dollars issued against the property owner, and they're making payments on that debt right now, yet the behavior continues.
Are
It's
they
a-
making payments or like $10 a month type payments or?
I think it's about $50 a month, it's something like that. It's not
I
a
mean,
large amount,
We shouldn't
but
be letting that happen. Years that we've been dealing with a property.
it's a very weird situation with a very stubborn individual. And so we're at the point right now where we're at the limit of our traditional mechanisms with that person. And after that, it's gonna be a little bit more aggressive mechanisms. So we're we have one more tactic that we're going to try, is what I'm saying.
And two more things, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
When you said you planted 98 bait stations, is that at 98 houses or 98 locations?
Locations.
Okay, and you find that most of the problem is with non-owner occupied properties?
Not necessarily, no. I mean,
Like a
we've
split?
got the alleyways, I don't wanna say saturated in these areas, but, you know, it's in large part, because of a lot of what we've been talking about, you know, gardens that are overgrown.
Right.
People not cleaning up their gardens, bird feeders, dog feces. It's all, you know, a reason for rats to migrate to a particular property. So it's not just because it's a vacant property.
Well, I meant not vacant, but not
Or
owner occupied.
owner occupied, so, yeah, I would say without knowing for certain that they are gonna be owner occupied. Of course, there's gonna be a mix, of, tenant occupied.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
yes.
One
Go
last
ahead.
thing, most of the reports that you get, is it from people calling in the health department or using the report a rat, tool that we have on the website?
We've seen an uptick in Let Us Help, so that's been a great asset for us. It just helps to streamline things a little bit, but we are still getting emails through our email portal, as well as calls, and then referrals from the alders in cases.
The reason that I bring it up is when I get a call, I'll ask, have you reported it? And they'll say no, and I know we have to have OpenGov, they have to go in, register. Have we thought about, is there a way to simplify where a complaint could go in, an address is submitted, and then it's entered in somewhere for tracking purposes? I just feel like we might have a little bit more response if you could just click a button, report a rat, click a button, here's my address. I think it sometimes deters people now that they have to create a profile, create a password, and a lot of times they'll go, well, no, I don't have time for that now. Do I personally agree with that? It takes 2 seconds in all reality, and the nice thing is once you create it, it's created forever. So I try to encourage it, but I didn't know if there could be a different online tool where it would just be more of a one-click, enter in the phone number, address, and bare minimum that data can be put somewhere to be put into the rat tracker, put into a complaint log, whatever it might be.
I'm not the OpenGov expert, so I will
Rebecca?
refer to Rebecca if she's some.
Certainly, we can do that. We're trying to minimize the use of other software solutions and things like that. Just because if we would do that, then people are duplicating the entry in these other
Yeah.
software. So I think from what people call me, if they're frustrated, I just enter it in the Let Us
Yeah.
Help system. So, I mean, if that's the direction we can, but that's the opposite of what we've been trying to
The
do.
goal of it.
Yes.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alderman,
I'm gonna give an IT question, okay?
So I won't pass.
I know you won't, but here's something to think about, and maybe ask Tony. OpenGov, does OpenGov feed into another system easily? So you put something in OpenGov, does it, can it feed?
They don't have an API available yet.
Don't, okay,
They're working on that. That's on their roadmap.
okay,
We're not trying to feed OpenGov to other systems. We're trying to feed other systems into
Into
OpenGov.
OpenGov, okay.
We want OpenGov to be the system of record so that when you look at an address, you can see everything about that address. You can
Makes
see the
sense.
licenses, you can see the complaints, you can see the permits, you can see any active cases that are going on. And that's what we've been working towards for the last 2 to 3 years.
and we're trying to keep it as much out of the box as we can and not have to customize it as much, is that what you're doing?
We have not customized, it's fairly easy to customize, but there's things like, I can't change it, that people have to
Yeah,
can't make a
Login,
profile,
right.
that
Okay.
kind of thing.
yeah, okay.
Thank you, Bob.
yeah, Bob, I mean, just as suggestions, I mean, I understand sometimes mailing is not really a workable, situation, in many cases. But I feel sometimes like, if it would be possible, I know there's cost either way, you know, baiting the cage basins and in the alleys or some of the streets was done already, you know. Last time it cost $24,000. I think this last one was about 19 or so, $1,000, right?
16.
Yeah, see, so we already spent money, invest money, try to alleviate the problem with rodents, you know. So what I will look for to, perhaps we can send maybe some card and explain, maybe if we come up with some kind of resolution, maybe the city attorney could work on it. If, you know, with a fine, if the problem is not pre-existing, you'll be fined so many dollars, you know? I wonder if it could be explained that way, that we try to alleviate the invasions of the rats or rodents, whatever you wanna call them, you know? I think it would be, I think that be some initial cost, you know, for mailing, but I think it would be maybe a savings cost, nice card, you know, something people can, if you have no glasses on like me, per se, probably still be able to see it, you know?
Mr.
I mean,
Chair?
to me, I think would be the, one of the avenue I think we can follow, you know? But,
Mr. Chair, that was something actually that Alderwoman Keene and I were discussing
Oh.
to do is send out information, actually use our DPW.
okay.
You know, everybody takes their garbage cans out, we could create a sticker or something like that we could actually just place right on the garbage bins.
Yeah, whatever it takes,
I think we have been doing mailings in areas where there's been
High traffic.
high traffic, reporting of rats, sending letters and things to people already.
We've sent out over 1,000 pieces of
but
literature.
sometimes they do disregard that.
When you get a complaint, well, what's the procedure? What do you do it
Well, we'll
after you get a
follow up,
complaint?
right?
You
We
follow up.
document it and we follow up, either with the
Also-
owner or the owner or the tenant. If the owner's there and available, then we ask that the owner be present as well.
Are you allowed to go on their property and look?
Well, like with Alderman Rote, he's very good about getting permission from the complainant
Okay,
if we have permission just to go on.
I see.
Otherwise, we will not just.
So if you
walk
get a
onto
call,
it.
you should ask the person that's calling for permission to come
Well,
aboard his,
So in this case, we're
Property.
taking Alderman Rote's
He
word
must have
that he's
connections,
gotten
he must have
permission.
connections. He must know somebody.
I try to do a thorough job.
Yeah, but if we get a complaint from citizen X that citizen Y has rats, we're not gonna go onto
Y.
citizen Y's, property
Exactly,
without permission.
right.
That owner's or tenant's permission.
If I may,
Yes.
I do
Alderman.
that for the rats, get permission, and I do that with building inspection. Something's in my backyard. Well, we don't have a drone. Can we go on your property? And it seems to work, right, Dan?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
on that vein, I had a conversation with health department staff. One of our problem properties in the second district was a very high fence, and I suggested a selfie stick. And I asked her to reach out to the city attorney's office on, would we be allowed to go on the complainant's property with a step ladder or a selfie stick, because we don't have a drone, and take pictures of the yard of the problem property. I don't see why not, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't see.
Generally, anything that's visible is fair game, so if there's a vantage point from which you can see it from the ground or from a building, then yes, you can
Airplane.
take a picture of that.
Can we legally,
There actually are,
can we legally buy a drone?
A lot
There are
of
actually
people have
restrictions
those
on drones,
6-foot
though.
Fences
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
you know,
But the
you can't
police
even
department
see
has
the
a drone.
property.
So we
Like I
could
said,
use
a
theirs.
$6 selfie stick might get you an 8-foot view over a 6-foot fence.
Yeah,
And be some
and-
evidence for.
And any pictures will be really helpful, because of course, an inordinate number of complaints we get are just that, they're verbal complaints with no clear evidence that there's actual rat rodent activity. So that just makes it more difficult for us to kind of build that case and kind of demonstrate, that we are able to issue orders.
Mr. Chair?
yes.
I appreciate that people are able to report, but I guess where I'm concerned more is the fact that the enforcement's not there. It's like, almost like we're chasing tails. And if this person is violating and has, you know, a junkyard for a backyard, for example, and we know, even though I can take a picture of it, it's still going to be that way unless action's taken. So, well, I guess that would be more where I would focus in these repeat offending properties, is really say, okay, I think having one property, I can name a handful, you know, within my area right off the top of my head that have been that way for years, you know, and if the feedback I'm getting is the city won't do anything until, you know, somebody complains about it. So I really don't like hearing that, you know, from my constituents in saying, you know, well, they don't really care until you report it. Well, you don't know about it until it's reported, for one. But secondly, you know, I'd like to see more action taken on these properties, and I don't know the steps that would need to be taken, but Rebecca, when you mentioned, you know, us passing that in August, that was the purpose, so we can go on these properties and get this handled, because these people are not handling the business. So I'd like to see more of that and more focus on it.
Certainly when we've got the evidence to make it clear, then that becomes a very legitimate use of that tool.
Okay.
Do we need to purchase the department selfie sticks and put that on the agenda for next time?
I don't think we need to do that, because it's probably a relatively small purchase.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. But really, if, talking about the, you know, once the city really, or building inspection, they know, you know, the complaints, you know, the address and everything else. I mean, in 100% of the time, they do follow up on the, whatever the issue is, you know, they try to do their best. And again, many times it's been occurred to me that, if neighbors, they have a fencing, well, then they says, well, the person who complains, he says they could come to my yard and look over their property, their backyard. It's been happened many times, and it's been occurring, right then, I mean, in many cases, really. So people are most the one that complains. If I say to them, what about if the building inspector will come in your yard to check the backyard that you complain about it? I have no problem with. So to me, you know, building inspection, I think they've been trying to alleviate some, I mean, I'm talking about in my district, you know, they've been doing their jobs, really. So, I mean, whether it's hard for them to see the back, but in many cases, before I call Dan or anybody else, I try to tell the complainer that if you willing to have the building inspector come on your side to be able to check the entirety of that property, many people say, I have no problem with. I mean, I've been experienced that, really. So to me, that's, I mean, that's the biggest issue. Everything else that we're facing with rats and everything else. So I don't know the solution. That's not an easy one, you know. You know, I think all the departments, they all try to do the best to follow through, you know. So, any further questions? The way we can close
Nope.
the presentation of Bob. I think we
Thank you,
appreciate
Bob.
that,
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Showing
Motion to adjourn?
us. I
Nope, we
appreciate
got
it.
one more item.
We
We have one more?
One more.
Oh, I
got
got ahead
meeting
of
minutes.
myself, I'm sorry.
Okay, thanks, Bob. So
Yeah, it's
item
Mr.
28, 2022-0939, September 6, 2022, draft license and L community minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair,
And all in favor?
Mr. Chair, is there a motion to place on file number 27?
Do you need
Yes.
one?
Oh, yeah, we need.
Okay.
I thought
Motion to
that-
place on file item 27.
Second,
Second.
all in favor to
Aye.
place it?
Aye.
Aye.
No, motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Rosie's got an off night tonight.
No business.
No business.
No business.
I don't think that's necessary.
Good evening. We'll call the council back to order, and I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Ranky.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham.
Here.
10 present.
We have a quorum. We will begin with the Administration and Finance Committee.
Administration and Finance Committee recommended passage of item number 12.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the committee report.
Thank you, Alderman Haas. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Haas.
Aye.
Keen. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Ranky. Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Next up, we have the Public Works Committee.
The Public Works Committee recommended passage of item number 13.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance of the committee report.
Thank you, Alderman Road. Any discussion on the Public Works Committee report? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Haas.
Aye.
Keen. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Next up, we will hear the Safety and Development Committee.
The Safety and Development Committee had 2 items that were both held, so no action was taken, so no vote is necessary.
Thank you. Then let's move on to the License and Health Committee.
The License and Health Committee recommended denial of item 16 based on the police report and non-appearance, approval of item 17, denial of items 18 and 19, both based on non-appearance and the police record, approval of item 20, denial of item 21 because of non-appearance and the police report, holding item 20, denial of item 23 based on non-appearance and the police report, hold item 24, 25, 26, placing on file 27, and approval of item number 28.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval from the License and Health Committee report.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Giving Alderperson Ranky the night off tonight, so
Thank you, Mayor.
you've earned it.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting, Tuesday, October 4th at 7 p.m.
Second.
Second.
You guys are eager to get out of here.
Too many.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you, you too.